would life be like if you lived in darkness? This is the life of Cheyenne Wilder. Cheyenne lost her sight in an accident when she was 13. Now, 3 years later, the car she is sleeping in is stolen, and once again, she must overcome a huge challenge. Griffin hadn't meant to kidnap Cheyenne, just steal the Escalade. But when it gets out that Cheyenne's dad is the president of the Nike Corporation, Griffin's dad, the head of the car-stealing business, decides that he may not want to return Cheyenne at all. Girl Stolen is a story of Cheyenne and Griffin's bond, and the story of Cheyenne's escape from Griffin's evil dad. Cheyenne sees two parts to her blindness. One part is represented by her walking cane. When Cheyenne has her cane, she feels weak, vulnerable, and embarrassed. The other part is represented by her seeing eye dog. When she has her dog, she feels strong, powerful, independent, happy, and safe. But when Cheyenne is accidentally kidnapped, she has to learn how to be strong on her own. She must have courage. Courage is a major theme in this book. Both Cheyenne and Griffin have to have courage. Griffin needs courage to stand up to his dad and protect Cheyenne, and Cheyenne has to learn how to escape and provide safety for herself without her dog. The kidnapper couldn't see her. Nobody could see her. It was like she was invisible. In the beginning of the story, Cheyenne feels invisible without her dog. As the story goes on, she becomes confident on her own. It is inspirational to me that someone who is blind can find enough strength inside themselves to protect themselves and escape. By the end of the book, Cheyenne has overcome all parts of her blindness, and she no longer needs her dog or her cane to be strong. "You're right. Things never would have turned out the way they did," Cheyenne said slowly, "but maybe that's okay." As Cheyenne begins to overcome her blindness, she also becomes okay with change. She understands that change is a part of life, and nothing always goes according to plan. This book teaches you that change is going to happen, and you have to change with it. This book made me wonder how your view of the world would change if you were blind. If you couldn't see anything, how would you learn about people, animals, and our world? Would your other senses make up for what you couldn't see, or would you go around being lost and confused? This book also made me wonder about good versus bad. What makes someone good and what makes someone else bad? We all know the black and white parts of good and bad, but what about the gray area? Griffin steals cars, but he also helps Cheyenne escape. So does that make him good or evil? I have decided that it is all relative to the people around you. Compared to his dad and his dad's employers, Griffin is good and kind. Compared to Cheyenne and her family, he is bad and dishonest. Girl Stolen made me ask a lot of deep questions, but it was also cliché and predictable. The plot was unique, but how it played out and ended has been written many times before. It was similar to many teen novels. Boy meets girl, boy helps girl, and girl helps boy. Boy and girl fall in love. Despite its predictability, I still recommend Girl Stolen. It touches on some very interesting issues and makes you ask some deep questions. I recommend you pick up a copy and decide what your view of the world is.